Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. Faith leads to the miraculous. Hebrews 11:29 and 30 says, by faith, the people of Israel crossed the Red Sea as though they were passing through dry land. But when the Egyptians attempted it, they were drowned. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down after they had been encircled for 7 days by Joshua and the sons of Israel. This business of faith is exciting. Exciting in that it sometimes brings you to a place where your heart is made to pound heavily in your chest, or it leads you into situations where you're made to look like someone crazy, crazy enough to think that the thing that you desire will ever happen. But let me remind you of a fundamental point about faith as it relates to a definition. Faith involves confidence and assurance. Those are two things that are rock solid. There is no ambiguity in confidence. There is no ambiguity in assurance. Faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. By definition, faith looks crazy on the outside. Faith is not for the faint of heart. Rather, faith requires courage and focus. If faith is going to be, then your confidence and your assurance must be total. It must be all or none at all. The text discusses two monumental issues: crossing the Red Sea and getting inside a city that was fortified by the strongest of walls. Let us look at it more closely. Moses was leading the Hebrew people out of slavery in Egypt. Great. That was not too long ago. Not long into the journey, they come upon a huge problem. In fact, a double-sided problem. In order to continue on their journey to the promised land, they had to get across the Red Sea, and there is no bridge. Besides, their former masters were chasing after them with hope of driving them back to Egypt. What do? There is no obvious means of getting across the Red Sea in front of them, and they are no match against the Egyptian army coming after them. Do we surrender, or do we all jump into the sea? Here comes faith. And faith says we have to have the confidence in what we hope for. In this case, we hope to get beyond the Red Sea to go to the promised land. We have to have confidence that the Egyptians will not overtake us. What do you suggest? Faith says we are about to see a miracle. Moses stretched his rod across the sea. Stop. What did you say? The Bible says that Moses stood on a cliff overlooking the sea and stretched his rod across the sea. Well, what happened? The waters of the Red Sea parted and the masses passed over on dry land. The miracle happened. The miracle was for them to overcome or escape the difficulties. A miracle solves a problem. A miracle relieves you of a problem. The Egyptians thought they would go across on dry land too, but the sea resumed its normal activity and they drowned. The next miracle you experience, my friend, will eliminate the problem that you face. The second miracle occurred 40 years later. Same people. They are this close to entering the promised land they left Egypt 40 years ago to enter. Boy, has this been a long trip. And now they are separated from the promise by a stubborn city wall, well built and heavily guarded. What do? Faith jumps into action. We are going to have confidence that we will get in successfully despite the imposing wall before us. Faith says that we have the assurance that if we walk around the city once daily for 7 days and then 7 times on the last day, that when we raise a loud shout on the last trip around the wall, the miraculous will happen. The walls are going to come down. Right. You're all some crazy people. But that is what faith does. It positions you as crazy. Faith has to be strong and resolute and not double minded. This means that you cannot entertain doubts, and you certainly cannot expect faith to work when you are fearful of the walls before you. The result? They did the crazy thing God told them to do, and those well built walls came tumbling down. This miracle is one for the ages. A bunch of people did what they did. They did not ram the walls with ramming poles. They did not use grenades or dynamite. Faith made them do something ridiculous, walk around the walls and then shout. Would you have done it? Would you have had faith to do what these people did? Would you have had the confidence that the walls are going to come tumbling down? And would you have had the assurance that although this looks impossible, that it will happen? My friend, we are talking about faith. And faith that makes you look crazy is faith that is full and overflowing with confidence and assurance that the impossible will happen, that the thing that seemed unattainable will come through. My friend, there might be a Red Sea in your life, something that looks impassable, or there may be a Jericho wall in your life, something that seems impossible to penetrate or to get through. Well, faith is your answer, because faith leads to the miraculous.